Is it possible to find affordable, authentic vintage punk clothing? Imagine stepping into a world where your outfit tells a story of rebellion and raw energy. Now, picture finding those original punk pieces without breaking the bank. Sounds exciting, right? Let's explore how you can score authentic vintage punk clothing that fits your style and budget. Authentic vintage punk clothing comes from the late 1970s to the early 1980s, capturing the true spirit of punk rock. These pieces include band t-shirts, leather jackets, studded accessories, patches, and DIY modified items. They are not reproductions but original garments worn during the punk movement's early days, making them real pieces of history. To verify authenticity, check labels, fabric quality, wear patterns, and where the item came from. Punk fashion is all about DIY spirit, anti-establishment symbols, and distressed or customized looks. You can find affordable vintage punk clothing in several places. Online marketplaces like eBay and Etsy often have vintage punk items at different prices. Some sellers offer less iconic or heavily worn pieces at lower costs. Specialty vintage shops sometimes have clearance sales or discounts on punk items, especially if they are not from famous bands or events. Local thrift stores and community-driven platforms are also great sources. If you're willing to hunt and verify, you can find authentic pieces for under $50 to $100. Keep in mind that rare band t-shirts or jackets linked to famous punk shows or bands can cost hundreds of dollars. Accessories like patches, pins, and belts are usually more affordable and help personalize your look. To get the best deals, explore online shops that focus on punk and alternative fashion. Many offer both vintage and new items with discounts or sales. Mixing authentic vintage pieces with newer punk-inspired clothing is a smart way to save money while still capturing the style. You can also DIY your clothing by adding patches, studs, or paint to make cheaper items look authentic and rebellious. Following punk and alternative music communities online can help you find trading groups or sales of vintage punk clothing at reasonable prices. Remember, embracing punk fashion is about expressing your attitude and connection to the scene. Finding affordable, authentic vintage punk clothing allows you to honor the roots of the genre while creating your own unique style. So, yes, it is definitely possible to find genuine vintage punk pieces without spending a fortune, as long as you're willing to search, verify, and get creative.